My name is Israr Khan and I manage the product, technology and marketing here in Aprila. I'm one of the co-founders of the bank, so we've been doing this for around 6 years. We're a bunch of people that started this bank for the sole purpose of solving one of Europe's biggest economy issues, and that is the lack of access for efficient funding for small businesses. We do that by having a very digitalized process for helping these businesses get access to funds with a high level of self-service and with products that they understand, with pricings that are really simple and transparent. Just as you know it from the consumer side, but we're applying these products and services and technologies to the business side as well. So in Aprila, we're very conscious about the technology that we create and develop. And it's very important for us to keep an extremely high talent density. So that means that everyone we recruit needs to be very, very proficient in what they do and what they're going to work with. So having talent that are both skilled in technology as well as like what we're doing and also would like to be in a very vibrant, dynamic environment with a lot of both opportunities and responsibility. That's the kind of technology people or competency we were looking for. So for us, it's more important to find the right competency rather than where they are or where they're working from. That said, we are a very small team. So in order to build the right culture, we would like to have people that are working on site with us. We are a Microsoft-based bank, so everything we do is based on Microsoft technologies. So we also wanted to have people that had a lot of previous experience with everything from Microsoft Azure, cloud computing, as well as working with specific technologies that we have in our bank. So the biggest challenge was probably, as it always is, and that is that the fight for the good talent is super hard. And especially coming out of COVID, the situation for finding tech talents that were interested in moving to other companies, it was really hard. And also you had a period where the inflation in salaries were running wild. We tried to find talent through our own channels, but that has worked previously. But this time it was completely dry. It was impossible to get any significant amount of good leads. We started with just wanting one. During the process, we ended up hiring someone we didn't actually expect to find, and then continued searching for a new one, which was the original profile that we were looking for. So we ended up with 2 guys. And both of the guys are moving from Malaysia to Norway, so it's going to be an interesting process for them. One of the things that worked quite well is that we found not only one candidate that we were looking for, but we found 2 candidates that we really wanted. So that sort of defies quite a good success, especially in a time where it was next to impossible to find good candidates. So I think that's what was one of the things that worked quite well. And another thing is working with people that are working with people requires some sort of trust and some sort of integrity, and you need to have some sort of match with the company that you're working with. And one of the things that I felt was that we had a very good match with INSCALE in terms of like the people we were working with. And I think, at least for us, that chemistry has a lot to say, and also that we can scale further with this partner, because it's a cumbersome process to try and find new partners to work with all the time for different positions. So with INSCALE, we also had in the back of our head that in case we would like to have a satellite office, we can use you guys for that as well. The width of the services that we could get from INSCALE, combined with a very good presentation from Amalie, was enough to sort of convince us that, okay, this is a company we should have a new chat with. In addition to that, I saw that they had delivered services to another bank in Norway, which I know have a good reputation for being able to manage the technology in a very well manner, where I also have a friend who was involved in the process. So after the meeting, I had a one-to-one with my friend as well, just to verify and get his experience with INSCALE as well, and he was quite positive. So I think All of these things, both the randomness and the coincidence, combined with a very good sales person, and the width of the services INSCALE could deliver, combined with the reference, so it was enough for us to say, let's try INSCALE. We are a company that believes in innovation ourselves, so working with other companies that also try to focus on innovation, that be on the product side or the business model side, is quite interesting for us. Recruitment as a service versus talent as a service, I feel that your business model supports the notion of that you're working with talent and not only recruitment, because recruitment can often become like a numbers game, and the business model is to get the upfront fee as fast as possible, while you have then taken the next step, changed your business model, and you are focusing on talent, and you also then ensure that you have a skin in the game. So if you don't find the right talent for the right company, you will neither get the long-term benefits of that relationship. So it sort of resonates quite well with me. We as a company, we've been working with people all around the world previously. And this time we chose to have people working locally here in Norway for us. And the reason for us moving the talents that we found from Malaysia to Norway is actually due to COVID. So one of the things that we discovered was that when we were working with remote teams prior to COVID, we were always able to meet them physically as well. So even though remote work works well, having that personal touch at least a few times and enough times to create that cultural match so that you can apply and assimilate the new people into the culture of the company is very important for us. And what we discovered through the different setups that we've tried is that working from another country is not an issue. However, the time zones, at least for us, was an issue. So having people in different countries but somewhat similar time zones is actually important for us. One of the reasons for, or probably the biggest reason for why we choose to have people hired inside of the company instead of hiring consultants externally is because we really want the people that are working with us as a company to feel and breathe Aprila. And we often find that to be easier when they are on our own payroll versus an external company. That said, one of the things that we've been looking into is if we can have branded hubs or have a hiring model which might be based on a traditional consultancy model, but we need to have people that go to the work and feel that they are working for Aprila and not an external consultancy company. Technology and talent is a distributed thing, and taking the step and looking outside of your own country and finding different models that can work for your company is something I would probably recommend to many companies, but it also depends a lot on what you're actually working with, right? Some companies can do remote work or can do hiring internationally and can also have satellite teams, while others might not be able to do it. But in general, I think one of the most efficient and fun ways of scaling a company is by trying to look outside of your own borders. And then there's another big benefit here, which is sort of like a social demographic experiment, and that is having the diversity in a company with many people from many cultures, many countries. It increases the way a company is energized, at least based on my experience.